Great. So thank you so much for joining on time, Sachin and Raj. And as you know, today is the last challenge of this hackathon. That means we already covered the important topics from the Lean Six Sigma. So which includes we started with the introduction, we started with the identification of the project, and what is the approach that we are going to follow. And slowly, along with the model project, we have completed the define, measure phase, analyze phase, improve phase, and control phase. So in the last week, we talk about all the tools and techniques that we are going to use for our model project, and what are the important topics that we can implement at each stage of the project. Now, the today challenge is very important because we are going to focus on one of the most important topics, that is overlook, right? Because of the timeline pressure, because of the results pressure and all those, right? So what is that topic? Topic is, let me zoom it, it's the challenge 12, which is about move ahead with a passion, right? So instead of just completing the task for the sake of doing it, how we can complete the task effectively and close the project so that it can be referred by the we can say the next your team, right? Who is going to be join your organization, or whoever is going to join your team, the reference material will be available all the time, right? So try to implement all the projects and Lean Six Sigma with a passion, right? So we are going to discuss about project closure and communication. That's an important topic.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go into the detail of this. This consists of three important parts. The first one part is related to complete loose ends and formalities. Second part is related to learning, feedback, and review. And third part will be final look and moving forward. Right. So let's go into detail for each of these parts and let's understand what is the meaning of this complete loose ends and formalities. When we are going to implement the project, always we are going to use the Pareto principle, right? So we are going to identify what are the 20% activities, what are the 20% tasks which are giving us 80% of the results. And we are going to, I can say, the giving the less importance to the 80% of the activities. But out of those 80% of the activities, there are some activities which are very critical and they are having importance after the closure of the project, right? So to take care of all those activities, this part is very important. Complete loose ends and formalities. Do you know what is a smoke test? The smoke test is a test which was initially get introduced into the plumbing industries. So what is this test? When the entire plumbing work is getting completed, then what the team is doing, they are sending the smoke from one side and they are waiting till the smoke is coming from the another side. If you can see the smoke in between, right? So that is an indicator of there are some leakages into the pipelines, right? So in similar way, we also need to do the smoke testing for our project. Now, what is the meaning of that? You already know that we have identified what are the important countermeasures, we implemented them, we validate them, but whether that countermeasures are giving us consistent results or not, that we need to monitor for some time, right? Like month or two, right? And during this monitoring, we need to check whether that solutions in a project are working fine or not. If it is not working, we need to investigate why it is happening and we need to uh, implement the systems over that. Second, check for missed items and things that you kept hanging. Just now, I've explained you about like there are some activities we overlook, or we can say we are giving the less importance to them because of the higher priority items. But when we are going to close this project, this is a good time to look at the unfinished details and complete them. One more important thing is the look for the technical updates. Now, what is the meaning of that? During our project execution, sometimes we take the help from the outside people, right? Or we need to create the new documents. So we need to ensure that we are going to close the project from the administrative perspective. That means what are the documents which are we are modified? We need to ensure that all the time the new and revised documents will be at the place. And what are the old documents that we need to discard? Second, during the project execution might be you required some services like you are uh, going to create, or I can say you are going to develop some kind of pokayokes or some fixtures, some jigs, or any kind of things, any kind of services that you are going to take from outside. So we need to ensure that whether that work is only related to the project or we need to take their services consistently after the end of the project too. So if it is that the case, then we need to update that like the contract is only for the project, and as soon as the project is getting closed, the contract is also getting, I can say, ceased. Or we can say this is a continuous practice and the continuous, I can say, the focused implementation that we need to take from the outside parties. So the contracts needs to be renewed after every 3 months, 6 months, or once in a year, something like that, right? So that contract terms needs to be finalized. The third one is a payments. So during your entire project execution, whatever the raw material you demanded, right? Whatever the new POCA case or anything that material or services you uh, take during the project cycle, you need to ensure that when we are going to close this project, the payments for all the parties has to be clear, right? So this is about the complete loose ends and formalities. That means when we are going to hand over the project to the process owner, there should not be confusion, or that there should not be like the extra load for that person, like we kept something hanging and that is bothering to that process owners. So when we are going to close the project, right? So when we are going to declare that the project is closed and we are going to communicate that what are the results we got, before that we need to complete these loose ends and we need to complete all the formalities. Is it clear? The first element of this?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Though it is very obvious, but many times we missed it. There are some tools and techniques and some practices that we need to use that, and you will get all those details into our training content, right? So when you are going to visit the project closure and communication section into our Lean Six Sigma Green Belt and Black Belt both, you will understood what are those practices. Now, the second one is the learning, feedback, and review. So it is again equally important to the point that we have discussed just now. When we are going to close the project, please ensure that our customer is having the clarity about it, right? So we need to close the project with internal and customer, internal or external customers, depending on what is the scope of for your project. If your customer is internal customer, we need to make sure that we are going to close the project with internal customers. If it is with the external customers, we need to work with both internal as well as external customers. Now, what is this closing of project means? We need to validate and we need to take the confirmation emails or anything, the system that you are going to use into your organization. That can be the management of change that we discussed into the last week, or that can be any communication, emails, or any kind of format that you are using. That has to be there as a record from your internal or external customers. That is, we can call it as a validation and confirmation from internal or external customers. Second, whatever the lessons you learned, right, during your entire journey. So that lessons not only the successes, but you also learn the failures. There are some mistakes that we have done. So we need to document all those mistakes and all those successes so that whenever anybody from our team is going to refer that, they will get the clarity about it. Now, when we are going to talk about the lessons learned, it is not only at the team level. It can be at the individual level, it can be at the team level, or it can be at the entire business or organizational level, right? So we need to document all those success and failures. Whatever the format that is most suitable to you, suitable for you, you can use those format, right? So simply we can just have the two columns, like what are the successes you got and what are the learnings or failures you had during the project and what are the learnings that you are having from that project, right? So that you can do. And the third one is as we are going to close the project, we also need to create the team wrap-up plan. Now, what is this team wrap-up plan? You know that when we form the cross-functional team for the project execution, there is an involvement of the team members from the different functions, including like the production, quality, maintenance, logistic, right? The customer care. So we are having the cross-functional team. Now, as the project is getting closed, so what is the next plan, right? So that is called as a team wrap-up plan. It also includes like how we are going to dissolve the team, like the team members are going to take the other responsibilities, or whether we are going to take another series of project as a team again, right? And how we are going to hand over project to the process owner. So there must be these two important aspects when we are going to create the team wrap-up plan. how we are going to hand over the project to the process owners, and what is the next assignment to all the team members who are involved as a cross-functional team into the project. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. Then let's go to the third part, which is about the final look and moving forward. This is equally important because you have introduced the significant amount of time. Let's say typically we are going to introduce like 3 months, and if the project is more difficult and if the scope is getting increased between this project cycle, it can be up to like 120 days. That's equivalent to the 4 months, right? We took the great work, great efforts. We introduced, or I can say, the significant amount of resources there. Now, after the end of this cycle, we need to document everything. That is called as a final look and moving forward. The first thing, create a final project report that can be in the form of A3 report. After some time, I'm going to show you the A3 report for a model project, right? So I've drafted that A3 report and I will show you that how it is going to be start and how I'm going to document the entire project into that A3 document. After some time, I will show you that. So that's a final project report that we need to make. Not necessarily it should be in presentation. Whatever the convenient method to you or as per your industry practices, you can use it. Even Excel file A3 report is also the, I can say the more than sufficient. Now, what this project report must have? This project report must be summarized, not to explain everything that whatever the activities that you have taken into the project. It can be like what is work into your project and what didn't work, right? Only that kind of things that needs to be mentioned. And the one more important thing I can add here is the approach, right? So what is the approach that you used during the entire project implementation? So that has to be there. Is it clear about the first one, create final project report?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now, here also not necessary like you must have like 10 slides, 15 slides. It's totally depending on what is the difficulty level of the project and what are the things that you need to mention. Ideally, I can say you can have the one side for explaining what is a background, one slide for the I can say the define phase. You can have the two slides for the measure, analyze, improve, and you can have the one slide for the project closure, control and project closure, right? So that is the, I can say the ideal size you can have. Even if you can squeeze to that one slides each of these, that is also absolutely fine. It's totally depending on the what is the scope of your project and what is the difficulty level. The second part is the creative moving forward plan. We have already seen some part of this, like how process owner should control the results, right? So once we hand over that into the learning feedback and we see the we are saying that how we are going to hand over that to the process owners. Now, here we are going to discuss about the control plan and response plan, how that process owner is going to handle entire things, and what is the next assignment or project to the team, right? So if it is there, then we need to project to the management like, okay, this is the next project that we are going to take. That is a part of moving forward. The third one is the, as you already completed the project, right? And you need to monitor for some time what are the benefits that project your project is giving. Once that results or outcome is confirmed, then there must be the sign up from the sponsor. Now, who is the sponsor? Sponsor is the person who is providing all the resources to you during the project execution. Typically, they are the part of the top management or the leadership team. They are going to provide you all the resources that is required for the project, successful project implementation. So once we complete this project, you need to take the sign up from the sponsor along with your finance controller if it is involved the financial savings, right? So why finance controller? Because whatever the savings that you are going to project, that has to be always verified by the single window or the most authorized person in the organization, which is finance controller or your finance manager. Once it is done, then celebrate, right? So the celebration is again one of the most important element. So we need to have the rewards and recognition in place. If it is not there, you can say when you're going to execute the project, once you complete the project, that's a good opportunity. If you don't have the reward and recognition in place, then you can start that. Now, can you please help me to understand why reward and recognition is important? And this is a critical part of any Lean Six Sigma project. Not only Lean Six Sigma, if you are going to take any continuous improvement approach, reward and recognition has to be there.
It's basically it's going to motivate the others, and you know, yeah, and also the best thing is we can learn the best practices and good what we did during the project phase, like um, where went wrong, who picked up. Definitely it's going to help for the next project. At the same time, it gives the motivation. The people who are going to involved in it also need to maintain the project till it's sustained, like end of the life of project. So there are many things. I mean, it's a good thing to do that celebration, to get in touch with everyone for the new projects and maintain the same thing for the current project.
Absolutely, absolutely. Very well said, Raj. Yeah, Sachin, you're saying something?
Yeah, motivation is the key factor, I would say. That is one reason we
Mhm.
should have those rewards and recognition and celebration as well. Yep.
Great, great. Yes. So what you are saying, that's a very good and I can say that up to the mark when we are going to discuss about the one project. But see, from the Lean Six Sigma perspective, we are going to create the culture, right? And as a part of culture, it's a very important thing that we need to remember. When we are going to reward anything, that behavior is going to be repeated, right? So we are going to appreciate or we are going to give that message. So this kind of behavior that we are expecting. So if you are going to give the reward and recognition to any kind of behavior, that is going to be repeat, right? So that is the power of reward and recognition. Thank you so much for answering this. So coming back to the rewards and recognition, you can see that there are many things that we can initiate as a part of this. Monetary rewards is one of them, and I can see that some of the industries are having the resistance to this because of the many factors that is going to affect that. So you can also go for the monetary rewards, but if it is too sensitive for your organization, you can look for the other three options as well, right? So the first one, you can have the letter of appreciations sent to the individuals who had taken the significant efforts into your entire project execution, or you can have the uh, uh, you can have some points or something like that, and that can be used during their appraisal and all those, right? So you can place them into the personal files, and when there is a review or something that is going to happen, you can use that for that. I can say the giving the promotions or something like that. So the letter of appreciation is one thing. Second, you can also have the public expressions, right? So we can have that like during the meetings, newsletters, town hall meetings, right? So you can have that public expression. So the people who are already taken the great efforts, they will feel very happy about it, right? So they will again get inspired to take the more such kind of efforts into the another projects. You can also give the token of appreciation, such as trophies, gifts, or apparel, right? So that also you can do. That is the another kind of reward or recognition you can give. So this is just some of the examples, right? So apart from that, as per your industry norms, industry practices, if you're having the any other systems that you can also continue. So there is not hard and fast rule, like you just need to do this kind of or that kind of rewards and recognition. It's totally up to you and your organization culture. What is best suit to you, you can give that reward and recognition. But one thing for sure, you must have or I can say the rewards and recognition in place to appreciate the behaviors that is going to take during the any kind of this project executions. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Very
Yes.
much.
Yeah, great. So this is the regarding the project closure and communication. So intentionally, I kept that as a challenge 12. Why it is because it's a very big topic, and I don't want to include that along with the control phase because both of these topics are very important. Now, the fourth part is very, very important for individual levels, and that is a gate your certification, right? So that is a bigger part. So I'm also going to explain you in very detail about what is a procedure and everything for the green belt and black belt as well. So I will just cover some part of here, and then we'll stop the live streaming, and I will also show in very detail about for each of these parts. Okay, are you ready for
Sure.
this? Get your certification.
Yes, sir. Pretty
Yeah.
much awaited, I would say.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so the first part, uh, I just want that everything has to be in line, right? So there is no shortcut when you are going to take the Lean Six Sigma certification. Specifically, if certification is along with development of the skill set or capabilities, that means you can solve any kind of problem, right? So the complete all pending assignments. If you are enrolled into the green belt, so there are 10 assignments, right? Uh, sorry, 6 assignments along with the multiple choice question and situational analysis question that we need to complete. And for the black belt, altogether there are 10, right? So that we need to complete. Second, take the mock test. Once you complete all your learnings and completed all your assignments, then go for the mock test. Now, this mock test that typically we have designed that is aligned with the ASQ, and we are following the entire curriculum that is in line with the ASQ. So, though our content is meeting all the I can say the guidelines which is followed by the International Association of Six Sigma Certification and Council for Six Sigma Certification. We mainly and private, I can say primarily is focusing on the ASQ. Why it is so? Because this is one of the most honorable certification into the Lean Six Sigma. So the beauty of this mock test, once you take this mock test, you will get the gaps. That is called as a gap analysis. So you can do the gap analysis based on the score. As soon as you take this mock test, I will also show you in some time what kind of mock test and how you can take that. This entire, I can say the questionnaire is made in such a way that for each topic, there are some number of questions, right? So for each of the topics, let's say, for example, if we talk about the define phase, or if we talk about the introduction and enterprise-wide deployment, or we can talk about the team management, right? Measure phase, analyze phase, control phase. For each of these topics, it is fixed that how many number of questions are there. And once you complete this assignment, this assignment report will give you the result that will be topic wise. And by looking at that result, you can completely get a clarity about what are the topics at which you are very good and what are the topics in which you need to take more efforts. So that is called as a gap analysis, right? So what are the topics in which you got the lower score? Definitely, these are the areas we need to work on it. So we need to revisit those topics, right? You can retake those assignments. And after that, you can go for the next mock test to check whether that gap is reduced or not. So we can call it as a bridge the gap by revisiting the topics and again taking the mock test. Whenever you're going to take the mock test, I'm also getting the notification and detailed report, and the same is will also get by you. So both of us know like what are the topics in which you are very good and what are the topics we need to improve. So we can have the meetings, we can discuss that in very detail, and we can also prepare a plan together, like how we can bridge those gaps, right? So from that perspective, mock test is important. Now, how many mock tests you can take? As I already said, initially I'm offering 2 mock tests to you, but if you want like more mock tests to practice it, so there are more mock tests will also offer to you without any extra charges that you already know, right? So the next step is take the mock test. First, complete all the assignments along with completion of your training. Then take the mock test, identify the gaps in which topic you need to improve, revisit the topics, and again take the mock test. Whenever you take the mock test, let's discuss and let's prepare a plan so that we will be ready for the certification test. Is it clear? These 2 points?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Raj.
Hey Vijay, I'm sorry. Shame on me. Actually, I'm still stuck with the measure phase. Uh, is there any timeline, or I can allowed? Am I allowed to go another couple of months to complete my all the
Yeah.
courses and come back onto this, or I mean I don't know how it
Yeah.
goes.
Okay, don't worry about first of all about the timeline because as you already know, whatever the content you got, whatever the assignments you got, and whatever the mentoring support you got, everything is timeless, right? So it's unlimited. Now,
Okay.
as we are going to close this hackathon 14, or I can say this is a 14 90-day challenge we are going to close. But from next week, again, we are going to start from the zero, right? So that will be the, I can say the introduction session. So that is including everyone who joined us in 2019, and who are going to join us today. So that challenge again will be for everyone and will be also available to you. So if you want to
Oh, I can
join that,
join next
yeah,
next session too. Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
So don't
thank you
worry
for
about
that.
the timeline, right? Yeah,
Okay.
great. So why
All
this
right.
90-day challenge is there? That's an excellent question, Raj, actually. Why this 90-day challenge? Sometimes uh, when we have everything as a lifetime, right? So there is a procrastination which comes in picture, right? So because let's say if it is available for me all the time, I can start my journey at any point of time, right? So that's a procrastination comes in picture. To avoid that, we have created this 90-day challenge. So that means we are going to complete this entire process into 90 days, right? So it is always, we can say it's a practical life, and something sometimes the other our priorities getting changed because of the maybe the health issues or any other priorities comes in picture, family or something like that. So we need to live in between, and again we need to join it, right? So the beauty of this entire program is like you can leave it and you can again join at any point of time.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much for asking this question.
Yep.
Oh, okay, so once you take this mock test, let's say you take the two mock tests and you got the confidence, yes, now you have the better understanding of all the topics and you can go for the certification test. That's very good. Just let me know that you are ready for the certification and I will give you the access to certification examination. But let's say you take the two mock tests and you come to know that no, there is some more efforts that you need to take and you need the more additional test. As I already said to you, just let me know, I will give the access to the additional mock test as well. Okay, so once you are ready, just understand that let's say that we take the mock test and we got the confident level, we can crack the certification test. So before certification test, right, if you are doing that as a Lean Six Sigma green belt, that's absolutely fine. You can directly go for the examination. But if you are joined this challenge or if you enroll into the black belt, so there is one more thing that comes in picture, which is a project affidavit, right? So I will also show you one example, like what is that project affidavit and what are the elements of that shortly once we cover this entire thing. So for the black belt, when we talk about the project affidavit, which talks about four important things. The first one, project details, including purpose of project, why you have to initiate that project. And another question I can say, of course, why you initiate this project now, why it is need, right? So that project affidavit must have these details. Second, business justification for the project, right? So if you don't take this project now, what are the consequences of it, right? So that also need to be mentioned. And compared to the other priorities that you are having, why you are going to focus on this project. So that is called as a business justification. Third, what are the tools and techniques that you are going to use during this entire project? And after use of all those tools and techniques, what are the benefits you got? That means you and your team and your organization. So we can call them as a tangible and intangible both. Tangible is like we can directly calculate them in terms of money. That is, we can call it a tangible. Intangible, like we cannot calculate them in terms of money, but they are also very important. Like if you talk about like the improvement of safety, right? Or improvement of employee moral, right? So we cannot calculate that directly in terms of the money. So we can call them as intangible. So that we need to mention here. What are the tangible and intangible benefits that is getting from your project? And finally, that has to be approved by your project champion and your finance controller. Verification of project completion and results by champion. Now, how to do that? I am also going to guide you from start to end into this project affidavit as well, right? So once we complete our project, then we can document this project affidavit and then we will get it signed. It is required before to go for the black belt examination. The same affidavit we are also going to use for the ASQ examination if you want to go for the ASQ examination as well. So there is the same procedure. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, great. We'll go in further detail once we cover this outline. Okay, just let me explain that at the broader level. Then we will go into the more detail for this project affidavit, mock test, and everything. I will show in some time. Okay. Then the fourth one is, let's say you completed the mock test, you got the confidence, you completed the project, you have the project affidavit ready. Then the next is take certification test, right? Get certified. Now, once you get certified, then you will get the dual accreditation certification, right? And for this purpose, if you are going for this, as you already know, no certification mock test fees. So it is included into the training program. And once you meet this passing criteria, you will get the dual accreditation certification, right? So the dual accreditation is from both Learn and Apply and from the Council for Six Sigma certification. So once you complete this entire process, like you complete your mock test, you complete your certification test along with project for the black belt and the certification test for the green belt, then you will get this dual accreditation certification. Clear?
Clear, sir.
Great. Now, once you got certified, that's not ending, right? Because it's a time to encash it now. So that's the next step, which is update your credentials with accredited certificate. So whatever the certification you got, as soon as you complete your certification and you complete your examination, you meet the passing criteria, immediately you will get the certification so that you can reproduce at all the social medias or your resume, wherever you want to update, please update that. You can also update whatever the results you achieved while doing this Lean Six Sigma, your training, certification, and project execution. So what are the projects you take and what are the results you got? So you can publish that in a short. Why it is important? Because it is going to explain like you're not just learn, but you apply that and you got some results. Please make a note of this because of the some data, I can say disclosure agreement that is available with many organizations. You need to make sure that whatever the data that you are going to share, right, that should be not confidential. That should not be confidential. So you can just reproduce or you can mask the data so that you can produce that, or we can just share the results. Let's say, for example, if you're going to say that with the Lean Six Sigma project, we done the 53% improvement into our defect rate. So that's absolutely fine, right? So you are just going to say you reduce the defects. So which defect you reduce, what was before and what was after, nobody knows. So if you are going to just share that kind of results to the into your social medias and all that, that's absolutely fine. So please update those credentials so that will help us to identify the new opportunities as well as to grow into the inside, to grow in the same organization as well. It's clear?
So do we need to update in you are telling basically to update in the LinkedIn and all this stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
And we need to renew our Council for Six Sigma. Like, is there any timeline to renew it or it's permanent?
For the green belt, you can say it's not required, but for the black belt, it needs to be renewed every 3 years.
Okay.
Every
It's the
3
same
years.
as the ASQ.
Yeah, it's the same as ASQ.
So we need to take exam every 3 years?
No, for the examination, there are two things. One is like you can retake the examination, and second, that is called as a recertification general. So there are some recertification units. So you can accumulate those recertification units. So that is 17 recertification units are required. So you can accumulate that into the 3 years and you can submit that to the ASQ so that you will get the recertification from the ASQ. Okay. I will come to that point as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I will explain that in very detail as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and for the last point is about the ASQ certification. So if you are going for the ASQ certification for the green belt, then you must know that the training has to be there so that you can you must undergo the Lean Six Sigma training so that you will understood all the concepts and everything. And the project, I would recommend that you must also take a project if you are either going to enroll into the green belt or black belt. So that's why I just added here as a desirable. please take a project, even if you are going for the green belt. For the next window for the ASQ is the August 1 to 31 testing window. So if you want to go for the certification, August 1 to 31 is a testing date. You can book your appointment during this. The deadline for this is July 14. So today is the 5th of July. So you are having 9 more days if you are going for this examination, ASQ examination. And examination fee is USD 469 for the ASQ. For ASQ. It's clear about the green belt?
Yes.
Great. For the black belt, it's a mandatory, right? So training plus project has to be there. We can say it's a project affidavit, which is mandatory. Next testing window will be September 1 to 30. And for it, the August deadline is 10. So you are having the sufficient time, I can say, if you are going to appear for the ASQ black belt. So you have a well enough time so you can crack this examination. You will get your Council for Six Sigma certification and Learn and Apply certification. And then you can go for the ASQ. Examination fee for this is the USD 568.
Sir, that September 1 to 30, that means any day I can go for the examination, right? Since it is online, right?
Yeah, you can go, but there are some also the slots are available. So you need to select the slots accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is the best slot, or what you can say, what is a good time to do it on the weekend, weekdays, or it totally depends, or it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. It's up to you. What is best time for you? So you can take accordingly.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. Great. So there are also the multiple formats and all those. So let me just cover this and then we will go into the get your certification in more detail. So I will explain the project affidavit, the A3 report in which we are going to document the model project. And I will also explain in detail about the procedure and everything, all this for the green belt and black belt. Okay.
Right. So next window for black belt, it is September only, right? And for
September,
that, the deadline is
5th of August.
August, right?
Okay.
I have my affidavit also ready with me. I have to pay for the ASQ website, and
Right.
that's right. And I have to wait
Yes.
till they will come back to me for the approval or anything, whatever they have processed, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sure.
Great. Thank you, Sachin.
Thank you.
Sachin,
Great.
you took that the same project like what you shown here last week?
No, 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 no,
No, it's a different one. Okay.
no, no.
Yeah.
My project is different, so it's
Okay.
already, yeah.
That's a
Okay.
new one. Okay. So this is the, let's summarize what are the tasks that we are going to complete as a part of the challenge 12, right? So the first thing I can say, please complete the project from administrative perspective. And when we are going to see the administrative perspective, we already seen it also talks about the documents, the contracts, the payments and everything. And everything that will be kept hanging, or I can say the low priority item, we need to review all of those activities and we need to close them. Second, we also talk about what is the importance of creation of the project report, what can be its minimum slides or the dimensions it can have, and then we need to document the lessons learned. Third part is get the project sign off with sponsor and celebrate achievement with team. The fourth one is about the get certified and update your credentials. We just seen the high level process for certification. We'll go into the more detail in some time. And the last will be, please don't forget to schedule a call with me every week, even if it is for the 10 minutes, so that we can have the discussion. And if you want to share and explain anything into these sessions, please let me know one day before. So I can create a slot for you, and you can also share your learnings, whatever the work you have done, so that it can be the inspiration for others, as well as it will also help you to enhance your representation skills.